Satisfying is it now that the regular season is finally over? You guys can actually concentrate. And this is Fred Yates with the sports director, AM Radio for 1580 WVKO down in Columbus, radio announcer. How gratifying is it now that the regular season is over? You guys can now focus on that championship playoff run. I mean, I know it's a long season, but how gratifying is it that the players are finally able to start thinking about the postseason?
Well, the most gratifying thing for me is just we completed the season healthy. And we was able to come out this long season with a lot of injuries, and we played through it, and our guys got through it, and now the playoffs are here, and we have all 15 guys healthy. So that's the most important thing to me and to this organization, to our team. And with that being said, I feel very confident and comfortable that we got a good run in us.
Right, thank you.
Tom Withers, AP, how did Tristan come out of it?
He was good. Okay, yeah. He wanted to play a little bit more, but I was like, you played great, and he was able to catch the ball and finish around the rim and get some offensive rebounds. So for now, it was really good. So I'm glad we got out of that game, without him re-aggravating it at all. So that's good.
And the anticipation is he'll play with that brace during the playoffs?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what'd you think of the new big fella?
He was good. He had the most blocks in 10 years, I guess it was, for the Cavs. So I don't know if the Cavs been playing small ball all this time or what's been going on, but I mean, just to have his first day in and to play 24 straight minutes as a big guy like that. Usually they get winded and get tired, but he had great stamina. Was able to block some shots and just be a big presence down low. And he also made some good moves offensively.
Yeah, Griff said it's impossible to say whether he'd get into a playoff game or not. But what value does he have just being in practices? Because those are at least going to be more competitive.
Well, trying to shoot the ball over him. I mean, if you can get over his size and his length, you can get it over pretty much anyone. So he's going to help us with practices and some different things. Not too intense, not too many intense practices during the playoffs, but he's going to help us out.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. The Pacers won, so that's who you have this weekend. You had that battle with them not long ago, and Paul George went off. Just what are your initial thoughts about having to see them in the first round?
Well, the world coach, Coach McMillan, did a great job second half of the season of figuring out his team and who he wanted to play and what lineups, and they've been playing well. And with Paul George, coming off pin downs and trying to run LeBron around off catch and shoots because he can't post Bron or it's hard to go one-on-one. So he ran Bron around a lot. So we got to be prepared for that. Also with Teague being a fast guard who can get downhill and put a lot of pressure on you and get into the paint. So those are two things that we got to be better at. We got to be good at going into the playoffs.
Do you think? I mean, because we've been talking to you all day, and I mean you've expressed a lot of confidence in your guys going forward in the playoffs. But do you think that there has been the idea that this team is somewhat vulnerable, introduced at least into the locker room, and that may be something that could catch their attention in the playoffs?
I don't think so. I don't know what you mean by vulnerable in the locker room, but
no, the idea that you are vulnerable has been introduced into the locker room, like among your players, that hey, you guys could lose just based on how rough the regular season has been.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to the playoffs thinking that. I'm going into it thinking we can win, and that's my job to make sure everybody in the locker room understands that we're going to win. And that's on me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys in the locker room feel the same way. So, we had a tough regular season, but if we went 82-0 and lost first round, then you'd be right about that. So it's always something for you guys to write about. So, like I said, going to the playoffs, being second seed right now, and everyone's healthy, I feel very confident in what we can do.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Griff mentioned before the game how big of a voice Dahntay is in the locker room and how he felt like you guys might have missed that during this season. You know Dahntay well. You've been around him. What is it about his voice that carries so much weight behind the scenes?
Well, he hasn't always been this way. Knowing him since he was younger, he was a know-it-all, and it was tough to get things through to him. But he's gotten older, and gotten married, and have kids. And he's a veteran now. He understands, and just his positive energy off the bench of just keeping guys engaged and talking to guys on the bench. When we having a lull during the game, trying to keep guys pumped up. And when you put him in a game like tonight, he hasn't been here. He played well. So just having it around, is good for us.
Jason. Jason Lloyd, The Athletic. I'm just curious for you personally, how much more involved are you going to be now in schemes and game plans and all that? I mean, obviously you're the head coach, but when they're coming night after night after night, night too, as opposed to now when you have time to devote to one team, how much more active and involved will you be in this in the schemes?
I'm going to do the schemes, yes. Very involved.
And how is that different from the regular season?
Well, the regular season, you just try to, put in the foundation. You can't change every single night and do something different because you're playing different opponents, different point guards, different bigs, different two guards. So, when you get a chance to play in the playoffs and you lock into one team, and, I've always been a guy that, in the playoffs, want to take away the team's best strength, what they do well, take that away and make them beat you another way.
When you were with Doc, were you the point man on a lot of that defensive stuff, or did Doc take over from you in the postseason?
I was.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously something you have a lot of experience with and fairly comfortable with.
Yes.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN. I know you like to pick your spots when you address the team or kind of get their attention. Do you have anything planned before opening tip of game one or whenever that is? Maybe anything from last season you can draw upon to get them primed and ready?
We're going to have a discussion tomorrow because we're going to have, film work and we're going to have a little walkthrough. So I'll address the team tomorrow, yes.
Will you draw on anything from last year, do you imagine, or focus more on this year when you talk?
Focus more on this year.
JR's slumping again. I think he's 7 of his last 36, 30, something like that, over these last 4 games, and those are all losses. It's not all on him, but how concerned are you that he seems to have taken a step back after that little hot streak that he had?
For me, he probably should be 7 for 50. I think he turned in a lot of shots, and trying to put the ball on the floor and make plays and just do what you do. He's a great shooter. You're not going to shoot the ball great every single night, and we know that. But, the biggest thing for us is, defensively, being able to, put him on Paul George some, being able to put him on C.J. Miles, who always kills us, So, he's got to be great defensively. And, with or without JR's shot, we know we can score the basketball, but we got to be better defensively. And, he's going to have a lot of responsibility, going into the playoffs. So just his main focus is just defensively. We know he can make shots, and we know he can shoot the basketball. So that's not really a concern of mine.
Ty, does it feel different this year going into the postseason than it did last year?
What's crazy, Chris, is that this season seemed like it went by faster than the one last year. It seemed like it was half a season for me, but it just felt like, man, like 2 years. But this year went by fast. The difference, to me, is we got some new pieces, that we've been trying to integrate, all year, on and off. Had some key injuries this year that set us back, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. I think the East has gotten better. Toronto's gotten better. Boston's gotten better. Indiana's playing good basketball. The Bulls finally figured out what they're going to do and who they're going to be. Same thing with Milwaukee. So teams have gotten better, and that's just the biggest difference to me. It's going to be, it's going to be a bigger challenge for us this year.
Marla Ridenour, Akron Beacon Journal. Along those lines, but more personally, do you feel more calm or more, about the playoffs and what's at stake, even though you're going to have to take on, more game planning? Just how you feel about directing the team in year 2 of the playoffs?
I feel good. I did it last year too, so it was the same thing. When the playoffs came, I was, hands-on with all the scouts and the game planning and scheme. So, it's a lot, but, it's only, 2 months in the season. So if I had to do it all 82 games and then do it in the playoffs, it'd be a lot. So for me, it's something I'm used to, and it's something I have to do. And, I feel comfortable doing it.
Sorry, your answer triggered another one. Do you think you're better? Do you think you mentioned all these other teams in the East that have gotten better. Do you think you've got better?
I think we're good.
Have you gotten better?
I think we're good.
Got a lot of work to do, but it's an exciting time of the year. And, we start preparation tomorrow.
How ready is this team to turn the page and start the playoffs?
It's going to be good for us to have a clean slate. And, you know, with the playoffs brings new energy. We know we'll be home here with our fans, and we're pretty confident here.